Sherry Monahan is here with the Western Writers of America. And Sherry, what's the title of your latest book?
That'd be Tombstone's Treasures, Silver Mines and Golden Saloons.
I'm assuming that it's about Tombstone then.
You would be correct. Tombstone, Arizona, and it's the history of what made Tombstone what it is, and that's the silver mines. People went there because of silver, and once that happened, then you started to have the town take off, and then happened the saloons. Of course, that was the very first business that would set up in Tombstone. And so I thought, let's couple together really interesting stuff about the history of the mines, and then all the fun and the sporting events that they had in Tombstone, like the bowling alley, the racetrack, the baseball team, and of course the saloons.
Of course. I would expect all of that, but the bowling alley?
Yeah, they had a bowling alley. Yep. It was very cool. They even had a swimming pool that was built in 1883 that's still in existence today.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So, and what else have you written?
My first book was called Taste of Tombstone. Of course, I'm stuck on Tombstone. What can I say? Who isn't? And that is about the hospitality industry in Tombstone. It's about the hotels, the restaurants, the bakeries, and the ice cream parlors. Mm-hmm. And the back half of the book, there's 140 recipes in there that are based on the menus from the Tombstone newspapers that used to appear. So I always like to say you can taste Tombstone's history.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that you do an awful lot of research.
I do.
Do you enjoy it?
Actually, I love the research a little bit more than I like the writing part of it. There's so much good information. I'm just a history junkie. And when I can go in and get details about history and what life was really like back in the day, and I get into that, and it's so interesting. There's so many neat characters that get overlooked in the big gunfighters and the outlaws. And so I like to concentrate on the towns and the people that were like everyday people like you and I. And you can talk about them and understand what they felt. So that research is really cool.
Now, you mentioned the newspapers, so I would assume that you spend a lot of time reading old newspapers.
I do, and it's really interesting when you read that, and you have to sort of take the newspapers with a grain of salt because there was always a Republican and a Democrat paper. And so what one person would say, another person might say differently. So it's like, okay, what's the middle of the road story here that I can actually go with as far as research? But it's very interesting to see what they published.
Now, are you working on a new book?
I am. I'm working on a new book that is about an English woman who comes over to America in 1885 with her stockbroker husband and brothers-in-laws, and they end up going to Lake County, California. And I thought it was this wonderful, simple story until I started digging and talk about research. This woman was, wow. I don't want to give it away too much, but hopefully in the next year and a half it'll be out, and it's going to be a really good story.
Great. Now, tell us again the title of your latest book.
Tombstone's Treasures, Silver Mines and Golden Saloons.
Thanks very much, Sherry.
Thank you.